Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is going to be my out-of-box review here for the Kotobukiya 1/100 scale Metal Gear Rex. If you guys didn't see me live building this on Twitch, I think what I'm going to do is pull that video off Twitch and upload that to YouTube so you guys can watch it on there, as it's set to expire any day now over there on Twitch. So if you want to watch the process of just putting this kit together, you can watch that in maybe the next video. I'll just upload that onto YouTube. It's like 2.5 hours or something like that, but it's just me going through the construction of building this and then just kind of hang out a bit, so feel free to watch that. And also I have to start off by saying a huge thank you to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring this review and making it possible. Guys, this kit is currently on pre-order over there at USA Gundam Store, so if you like what you see in the review and you want to get one, definitely check that out. You can use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10, to save 10%, and at the moment it's available for pre-order. I don't know when that's going to be sold out, but at least check that out if you're interested. It's definitely worth picking up, and I think the price they're selling it for is around 75 bucks plus 10% off. It's definitely not too bad. I think over the course of this review you'll see that this kit is definitely worth that. It's pretty big and it's very, very detailed, and it's just a really cool kit. It definitely feels a little bit more solid than the Sahelanthropus, I will say that. The Sahelanthropus definitely has a lot more going on, hence why that is much more expensive, and it transforms, so that is going to, of course, change a lot of it. But this kit feels very solid. There's a couple little pieces and things like that you would want to be careful of falling off. You might want to glue or something, but for the most part it's a really solid, really nice kit, definitely. And so as you can see, it's standing on the base, which is included there, as well as the little clear arm to help it stand up. If you're wondering if it can stand up by itself, I haven't tried it. I want to say that if you maybe balanced it just right, you might be able to get it to stand up on its own, but for the most part you're probably going to be wanting to use that clear arm there to hold that to the base. But let's just go ahead and take a look at this model and see what all it does. So real quick, just to go over what all you get in the box aside from the Rex itself, there you also have another little clear piece here. This is for that arm there at the base. If you don't want to plug it into one of the corner holes there, the larger ones at the back, you can plug it into this center row of 2 holes there. We also have these tiny 4 little clear lenses, which go for like the 4 little camera eyes there on the 2 sides of the head. I haven't put them in quite yet because I'll just wait until the kit is painted before popping them in at the end. And then we get some small 1/100 scale figures. We have one of Gray Fox standing and being crushed with his arm cut off, and then one of Solid Snake there holding a rocket launcher, and then one of Liquid Snake, which is up inside the mouth, inside here, up in there. And then while we're here, let's take a look at the pre-painted parts here. You have a little bit of pre-painting, like metallic green there right on the edge of there, and then on the side, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but just right there on the side for that kind of little window there, I guess is what that would be, but there is there. So let's talk about the articulation also while we're here. The mouth, as you can see, opens up like so, and there's a lot of really nice detail in there. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but putting the kit together, you can really appreciate all the little detail up inside of there. So if you will like going in and painting and all that stuff, there's plenty to go ahead and paint in. Obviously painting your little figures in there as well. Let me just go ahead and close this back up. That was actually probably the hardest part of the build. There's a part where you're putting the head together where you have to like put these like the pistons that connect like the lower jaw in, close these parts up around them, and it's just like really hard to get them to like stay in place while you're putting the parts together. It's a little bit tricky, but otherwise the build was very simple enough. The head itself will move side to side like that, and then up and down like so. And then at the base of the neck where that connects to the body, you can also lift the whole head up and down like that. For his little flamethrower dangler there at the bottom, that can move side to side and also up and down like that. And I love even just like this fine detail of this kind of like railing part there on the back of the head. Really cool. Let's take a look at the kind of backpack, I guess, for lack of a better word here first. That also moves up and down, forward and back like that, and also you can move that a little bit side to side as well. That's just connected via a ball joint there at the base of that. As for the bits here on the side, the disc radome can be moved forward and back like that. And on the other end of the arm, it can also be moved forward and back like that as well. Nothing else on that part of it moves, but again, just really nice detail throughout there. You can see there's that kind of metallic-y, orangish copper kind of color parts for that to just give you a little bit nice pop in detail there. On the top of the backpack, you can open each of these individual little doors here for having some detail of that. Having those open up does look pretty cool, very nice. And while it is all in gray, the color separation is nice to break it up between light gray, dark gray, and just kind of medium gray. Even just straight out of the box, if you just went up, just did some panel lining on this, give it a nice spray of top coat, and it's gonna look really nice just as it is, even if you don't want to paint it in like the official camo pattern or in any particular color that you might want to. Over here on the railgun has the same points of articulation at the base and at the other end of the arm, so it moves around there and then moves around like that. Unlike the Sahelanthropus, this doesn't like extend out or anything, just as it is. This is just exactly how it is, so it doesn't move. It doesn't have any moving parts actually within the cannon, but it's just all there. There is another clear part though here at the bottom of that. There's a little clear part that goes in for that little bit there. And then for the legs, I just want to take off the leg here so I can show you this more clearly. The little toes here at the end will move up and down like that. Again, something the Sahelanthropus couldn't do. Those were just fixed in one fixed position. You can also extend these if you don't pull the whole thing apart. Again, you might want to put a little drop of glue between this light and dark piece there, but if you just keep those together, the actual like nail part at the end does extend out like that too, which is pretty nice. At the base, the actual like foot part will move a little bit side to side for if you want to have the feet, you know, the legs spread out at an angle. It can also move up and down like that. There's one point that moves it out like that, and then just the whole thing can move forward and back. This kind of like hind leg part there can sort of close up. You can bend there and then bend at the top, so you can close it up like that if you wanted to, or just however you kind of might want to do that. And the whole leg extends out like that with a lot of really nice detail up inside there too, just like the pistons and everything you have inside the extension of the leg. I should also mention too about the little ankle there, that also extends a little bit out as well. So if you're like having a stand, you can extend that out a little bit and then set that off to the side for is actually like standing pose like that. So I mean, just everything in the legs here is really cool. And then of course you have another bend here, which you'd think the bend would be like at the front of this part, but it's actually at the back, so it's a little bit weird. So it bends like that, and then that also rotates there. And then this bit here on the side is just kind of stuck on there via a ball joint, so that can just move around as you need. Again, nice detail up underneath, nice detail on the outside, nice details all around. And then here on the knees, these doors will also open. You can open up each of these 3 little doors here. Kind of hard to open up that one without popping off the little bits there on the side. But there you go. Again, it looks really cool with those opened up. It looks a bit plain with it just not being any detail filled in there, but if you did some panel lining, painting a little bit of the detail inside there, it's gonna look really nice. So overall, the legs really cool. You've got a ball joint there at the base of like this connection piece between that and the main body, and that is going to be your point of articulation, as where it connects to the actual body is just a hard point of articulation just straight into there. And the last thing just up underneath here, where the base plugs into that actually slides closed. So if you didn't want to have this onto a base, you can actually close that up so that there's no hole there. It's not really anything necessary, but it's just a cool little thing that they included there. So if you didn't want to have that showing, but if you do want to use a base, then as I would recommend, you just slide that open, and that's where you plug in the base bar. So very cool. And of course, for comparison, I want to show you this next to the Sahelanthropus in Rex form. As you can see, they're relatively similar in size. The Sahelanthropus is definitely a little bit more complicated. You have a lot more stuff going on there, but they do look really interesting next to each other. I mean, you can see a sort of lineage between the two, even though it's kind of strange in terms of the actual canon of the story. I think the kits look really good next to each other. They're both just really nicely detailed and everything. The Sahelanthropus being like costing almost double the price of the Rex though is definitely a little bit fishy. It doesn't seem like it's really that it should be that much more expensive. So that's why I think I said in the review of the Sahelanthropus, and I'm just going to say it again now, is that if you get the kit on sale, that would be the best way to get it. Paying the full price for that is a little bit outrageous, because I think it's definitely very pricey for what it is. When you can get the Rex for around $75, $150 for the Sahelanthropus is kind of crazy. Alright, and just to basically wrap up the review here, I'll just show you a few different poses, things that you can do with the kit, and basically just reiterate that I'm really happy with this. I think it's a really cool kit. If you're a fan of Metal Gear and you're looking for something different, something more unique, cool to build, very nicely detailed, and a pretty complicated construction, then this is definitely worth checking out. It's definitely worth the high price of this kit, I think. There are a couple different versions also available. There's the black version, which as far as I know is just molded in different colors. There's nothing really different available in the box. It's just in a dark black color. And there's also the Metal Gear Solid 4 version, which is definitely has a lot of different parts in that, because it's like the damaged version seen in Metal Gear Solid 4. So it has a bunch of different parts in that. So I'm actually kind of interested in getting that kit now, just based on how much I really enjoyed this version. Not really so much interested in the black version, just because it's the same thing, but definitely interested in maybe getting the Metal Gear Solid 4 version as well. So I'm gonna have to check that out. And if I ever do eventually get that, I will of course do a review for you guys of that one as well. But again, it's mostly the same, just a few different damage parts on there. As for this kit, yeah, just very, very cool, really nicely detailed. The gimmicks are all there, everything you really want a Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Rex to do. That it does, so that's really cool. And the included little figures will be nice as well. Once those are painted up, you can work those into making a little diorama scene there with that, or whatever you want to do with those. It's all very cool. So if you guys do have any other further questions or comments, of course, feel free to leave those down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you once again to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring the review, guys. Check the link to their site down below. You can pre-order this kit or just buy whatever you want else on there and save 10% with my coupon code. So use that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.